Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Come on in, grab a seat. All right, welcome. This is the meeting of the Mayor and Council of Princeton, New Jersey. It is November 25th, 2024. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Madam Clerk, could we have the meeting statement, please?
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, including the time, date, and location of the meeting. In addition, the agenda and all related materials were posted electronically and made available to the public on Princeton's meeting portal in advance of the meeting.
Thank you. Davis could do the land acknowledgement.
We gather today on the land of the Lenni Lenape. As members of the Princeton community, we aspire to show appreciation, respect, and concern for all peoples and our environment. We honor the Lenape and other indigenous caretakers of these lands and waters, the elders who lived here before, the indigenous today, and the generations to come.
Thank you. Can we have roll call, please?
Ms. Perron-Lambros?
Here.
Ms. Niedergang?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Ms. Sachs? Ms. Fraga?
Here.
Mr. Newland?
Here.
Mayor Frida?
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you. If you're able and you'd like to stand, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first off tonight, we have a resolution and presentation. You get away? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. We're going to rearrange that a little bit. We're going to go to our proclamations, and Leighton is going to start off with the first proclamation.
Mayor, thank you, and welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. I just want to take a second to say what a pleasure it is to represent the people of Princeton, what an honor it is to represent the people of Princeton, and one of the best things that we as council people or mayors get to do is to have the opportunity to give out proclamations. Being born and raised here, I got to tell you, this is really, of the 3 years I've been on council, a true highlight of being here and representing the people of Princeton. To do a proclamation for a person that I love and respect, and we all love and respect. And I just want to acknowledge and thank everyone that's here tonight for being in the audience and for thinking it not robbery to come here to witness an acknowledgement for a great human being, a great humanitarian, a good person, a great family man, a good friend, a mentor, and one hell of a barber. This proclamation from the office of the mayor, Municipality of Princeton, proclamation recognizing James Jimmy Mack. Whereas James Mack, affectionately known as Jimmy, was born on May 3rd, 1931, to John and Lizzie Mack in Roanoke, Virginia. And whereas Jimmy's educational foundation was laid in the Roanoke Public Schools, culminating in his graduation from Addison Lucy High School in 1948, where he began to forge a path of excellence. And whereas driven by a sense of duty and adventure, at just 17 years old, Jimmy enlisted in the Navy with his father's encouragement, marking the start of a remarkable chapter in his life. And whereas during his service on the USS Midway as a machine gun operator in the Korean War, Jimmy discovered a new calling when he saw a notice for a barber on board, igniting a passion that would shape his future And whereas after training as a barber aboard the ship in 1950, he became one of 10 barbers on the USS Midway, skillfully cutting hair while fostering camaraderie among fellow sailors. And whereas upon completing his service in 1952, Jimmy relocated to Princeton, New Jersey, joining his Uncle Claude and brother William at Mac's Sanitary Barbershop on Witherspoon Street in the Witherspoon-Jackson neighborhood, where he honed his craft and built lasting relationships with customers. And whereas embracing his entrepreneurial spirit, Jimmy opened Jimmy's Barbershop at 141 John Street, creating a cultural hub that extended far beyond haircuts. And whereas for over 50 years, Jimmy's Barbershop has been a sanctuary of community, where the air vibrated with the hum of clippers, laughter, and soulful melodies, creating a vibrant tapestry of shared experience. And whereas sitting in Jimmy's chair was more than a haircut, it was a dive into rich conversations about life, sports, politics, and culture, with Jimmy as both the stylist and the storyteller, leaving an indelible mark on every customer's heart. And whereas the memories of the old school barbershop pole, the stacks of magazines, and the catchy refrain of, Jimmy, Jimmy, oh, Jimmy Mac, when are you coming back? Jimmy, oh, Jimmy Mac, when are you coming back? Need your love, need your love. Hey, Jimmy Mac. We love you, Jimmy Mac. And whereas the memories of the old barbershop pole and stacks of magazines and the catchy refrain of Jimmy, Jimmy, oh, Jimmy Mac evoke nostalgia and honor the cultural significance of his barbershop in the community. And whereas Jimmy's artistry transformed haircuts into individualized expressions of style, each snip and spray reflecting the personality of those he served. And whereas Princeton's African-American residents have a proud legacy, and Jimmy's presence as a cornerstone of the Witherspoon-Jackson neighborhood symbolizes strength, perseverance, and self-sufficiency. And whereas from 1962 until his retirement in 2014, Jimmy dedicated his life to serving the Princeton community, including generations of students from Princeton University, creating a legacy that continues to inspire. And whereas alongside his beloved wife, Audrey, and his family, Jimmy has been a pillar of grace and support, nurturing not only his family, but also the larger community as a mentor and role model. And
whereas, as the last African-American business owner in a historically rich neighborhood once filled with family-run enterprises, Jimmy represents a living testament to the resilience and contributions of the Black community in Princeton. And whereas he is more than beloved, adored, respected, and looked up to, he is revered for his artistry, professionalism, sense of community, dedication, commitment, and the love he has shown to so many people over so many years. Now, therefore, I, Mark Frieda, Mayor of the Municipality of Princeton, and the Council of Princeton, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, do hereby honor James Jimmy Mac for his profound impact on the Princeton community, recognizing him as a true legend whose legacy will continue to inspire future generations. Thank you, sir.
you like to say a few words?
Huh?
Would you like to say a few words?
I can't have get up.
No, you don't have to get up.
What did I say? Ladies,
Whenever you'd like to.
ladies, other council members, thank you very much for this occasion. And thanks again.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we're going to put just want to, again, thank everyone. Just trying not to get emotional, man, for coming out. For coming out to support Jimmy and what he has meant to each and every one of us, to our families, to all of Princeton. Thank you all for making this such a special night. God bless you. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best, man.
Can I have the mic since you didn't do it? There is a sign-in sheet for anyone that was here for Jimmy. We want a record of your attendance, so please sign in if you haven't already. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
You left a couple of, are those meant to be there?
Oh, no.
Because it was
Damn,
found-
I missed them.
Or could I say unity?
Yeah, say unity wherever women's
Initially
space is.
found- But can I say initially found it? Or do we even mention women's space or not? So it's in the, there,
Oh, well, I think, right. So maybe what we should do is, let's leave women's space there, and say women's space now unity, and change this one to unity.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're just gonna, Okay, thank you, everybody. We're gonna try to restart. All right, we're done. All right. All right, everybody's welcome to hang out in the lobby. We gotta do the rest of our meeting. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, carry Jimmy out, get him on the road. Although I forgot, luckily Leticia said to me, this all says women's space. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, we gotta change the name. That's fine, they're not here tonight to take it, so. But we'll change it up so we have it for the second. Yep. All good. Okay, we're gonna move on with our meeting. Next up, we will do a,
So Andrew's in the hallway, I think. Mark,
sorry.
I think Andrew's in the hallway. Andrew is still. Oh, he left. I thought he was leaving.
No, he said whoever's supposed to get whoever the recipient is didn't show up. So he said we'll reschedule it. All right, if we can get we'll all get back up here and we'll. All right, well, it's gonna take another minute here. Okay.
Start singing, Leighton.
How are you feeling, David? A lot better? Good. Well, hopefully that will be the end of it for at least this year. Oh no. Did you do the Paxlovid? No.
Yeah, man. All good. I'm here for you.
Mark left the microphone on.
Okay, next up on our docket is we have another proclamation, and Leticia will take us through this one.
Yes, thank you. So this is a proclamation for Unity's 23rd Annual Communities of Light. Whereas it is the policy of the municipality of Princeton to recognize organizations that have contributed to the overall benefit of the community, and whereas Women's Space, now called Unity, founded in 1977, has demonstrated a unique ability to provide comfort, support services, crisis intervention, and safety to women, men, and children who are victims of sexual assault and domestic violence, and whereas Unity, in the belief that peace begins at home, has asked the Mercer County community to join them in their struggle against violence towards women by participating in their annual Communities of Light project, and whereas Unity has provided emergency shelter in secure locations and comprehensive services for victims of domestic violence since 1977 and sexual assault since 2002 for more than 128,152 women, 17,638 children, and 9,082 men. Additionally, Unity has assisted more than 323,866 hotline callers over the last 47 years, and whereas the municipality of Princeton commends Unity for their efforts to bring an end to the cycle of interpersonal violence imposed on women, children, and men, and whereas the proceeds from Communities of Light 2024 will be used to fund vital services for victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking, and now therefore, I, Leticia Fraga, on behalf of Mark Frida, Mayor of the Municipality of Princeton, and the Council of Princeton, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim December 2nd, 2024 as Communities of Light Day, and hereby honor Unity on its many accomplishments and wish them continued success with Communities of Light in the years to come.
Thank you, Leticia. And just as a reminder to everybody, the Community of Lights event, at least in Princeton, will be on December 2nd, and it should be at 5 p.m. It might happen a few minutes later, but if you're free, it'll be 5 p.m. December 2nd out here on the steps to the plaza right off of Witherspoon Street. Okay. Announcements and reports. Any council members with announcements or reports for this evening? Okay, terrific. We have minutes from October 14th, 2024, our regular meeting, and from October 28th, 2024, our closed session meeting. Eve, you're going to move them both? Thank you very much. Is there, David seconded them? Any question, comments on either one? If not, all in favor of both, please say aye.
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 Okay. Next up, public comments for items not on the agenda. If anybody in the room or on Zoom, yeah, just come on over to the microphone, state your name and address, and 3 minutes to share whatever with us.
Hi, Seth Melvin, 113 Adams. Seth Melvin, 113 Adams Drive, Princeton, New Jersey. 2 quick comments. First one was about the kiosks. I didn't know that there was going to be a decision made about the kiosks until I read about it in the Town Topics. And I may be in the minority, but there was a letter written in the next week, so I assume I'm not the only person who feels this way. I love the kiosks. I know some people here apparently feel they're an eyesore, but I don't feel that way. That's where I get a lot of my info. I love walking down Nassau Street and reading those and finding out what's going on, especially about arts and things like that. I love walking around Princeton campus where there are signs all over the lamp poles. I mean, I went to a small college. We had a kiosk like that in town, and that I happen to love it. So I just want to express that. And I think if we're going to come up with something new, I would hope that it would be something similar with that same sort of college town vibe. Okay. Second comment was, which I don't even know if we have jurisdiction over, and I wrote to Eve about this. The traffic signs coming from Harrison Street into town, right before you get to the bridge where the cross is for the canal walk. That turn there is brutal, and there's no signs coming in. There's signs going out, but nothing coming in. Is that West Windsor, or is that us?
It's West Windsor.
So how would I make some suggestions there?
Yeah, so two things. On the kiosk, I believe that I know that we all said, or most of us said, yeah, we really want to remove the current ones. But I think what was left out of the coverage on that may have been the fact that we said we are investigating what will replace them. And there are literally 1,000 options to replace them. So we have to figure out how to take the 1,000 options down to maybe a manageable number and try to figure it out. So I can't speak for the whole group, but I assume there'll be further discussion at some point on what might replace the current kiosks.
Great.
We recently had a discussion about all of Harrison Street, literally from Route 1.
Yeah, I did see that, right.
And that was one of the things pointed out. So we need to find a way to coordinate with West Windsor, the DNR Canal, and I'm not sure who else, to try to improve signage around that area so people, that is tough. You come around that curve and all of a sudden there's the crosswalk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David.
Yeah, I think it may be a county route at that point as well. I know that it's
Right,
in some places it is and some it isn't,
Yeah.
but we certainly have some leverage with the county
Yeah.
to ask for appropriate treatments there. Yeah, so that's
Right.
very much on our
Okay.
radar. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Eve.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else in the room have a comment for anything not on the agenda? Is there anybody on Zoom that had a comment for something not on the agenda? Okay, I'll close that part of the meeting. Next up, we have 2 ordinance introductions. First is ordinance 2024-39, an ordinance by the municipality of Princeton regarding outdoor dining areas on sidewalks under the jurisdiction of the County of Mercer and/or State of New Jersey, and amending Chapter 29 of the Code of the Borough of Princeton, New Jersey, 1974, entitled Outdoor Dining. The public hearing on this will be December 9th, 2024. Is there a motion? Thank you, Michelle. Is there a second? Thank you, Leighton. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Perone Lambros?
Yes.
Ms. Niedergang?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Sacks?
Yes.
Ms. Fraga?
Yes.
Mr. Newland?
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. Ordinance 2024-40, ordinance of the mayor and council of the municipality of Princeton concerning salaries and compensation of certain personnel of the municipality of Princeton. The public hearing will be December 9th, 2024. Leticia's got the motion, Eve's got the second. Roll call vote.
Ms. Perone Lambros?
Yes.
Ms. Niedergang?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Sacks?
Yes.
Ms. Fraga?
Yes.
Mr. Newland?
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. Next up are resolutions. 24-341, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing release of a performance guarantee in the amount of $29,178.18 to 20 Palmer Square East LLC for preliminary/final major site plan of 20 Palmer Square East dash Post Office Block 20.02, Lot 70. Is there a motion on that? Thank you, David. Is there a second? Thank you, Leticia. Questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-342, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing release of a performance guarantee in the amount of $970,492.50 to the Institute for Advanced Study for preliminary/final major site plan of Rubenstein Commons, Block 10501, Lot 1.03. Thank you, Eve. Is there a second? Thank you, Mia. Questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-343, resolution of the mayor and council authorizing renewal of membership in the Mid-Jersey Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. If someone, thank you, Michelle. Is there a second? Thank you, Leighton. Any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-344, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement to Mans Woodward Studios, Inc. for Princeton Fire Department headquarters conceptual designs for $58,800. Is there a motion on that? Thank you, Michelle. Leticia's got the second. Questions or comments? David?
Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Mayor, or if you or Bernie would be most appropriate to respond to this, but we did receive a memo a little bit late in the day explaining this. I'm not sure if members of the public had seen it, but the scope of work seems pretty extensive. It talks about known deficiencies of the existing building in regard to environmental issues, HVAC, electrical, ADA compliance, and it talks about, I guess, really examining the whole operations of the building rather than services just for an addition. And so if somebody could speak to what those deficiencies are and help us understand a little bit better what's being addressed by the scope of services here, that would be great.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, sure. So what we're looking to do is, a couple things have happened since that firehouse was built in 1992. One thing that continues to happen since that firehouse was built in 1992 is that the roof continues to leak no matter what we've done to it. So we're hoping to find someone that can actually solve that problem. Since then, we've also hired 6 full-time paid firefighters who are in the building 24 hours a day, and the building was never designed for that. Additionally, we recently took our fire inspectors and made them fire inspectors/firefighters, so they now spend all their time in that firehouse. We hired a paid fire chief. We have a new paid fire official. They're all in a firehouse that was never designed for them all to be there. We still have activities that go on in the Chestnut Street Firehouse. Princeton Engine Company number 1, as a social entity, still operates in that building. The fire police of the Princeton Fire Department operate out of that firehouse on Chestnut Street also. And there's still 2 staff belonging to the fire department at Monument Hall. So to bring all of that into that building, we need to do a major investigation of how to do that, and that's going to include some renovations and/or additions to that building. Since it was built in 1992, all the mechanical systems are past the end of life. The electrical system probably needs an updating and upgrading if we're going to expand the building. So yeah, we're pretty much looking at somebody to come in and research the entire building and figure out how we're going to put all these uses into a building that never was designed for pretty much anything that we now want it to do.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
well,
sure.
I can't really top that. I just wanted to add, though, that, you know, within the footprint itself, I mean, it's really a lot of underutilized space. So, you know, I think it wasn't really designed as the mayor said, but, you know, there can be a lot of changes there. And, you know, as we grow in career, and also to retain the volunteers and attract volunteers, you want to have a more, you know, comfortable place. You remember, people have to, you know, sleep there and stay there in 24-hour shifts. So it's really important that, you know, we upgrade it. You know, going through it, I can see where it's really just not comfortable and not safe. And there's a lot of things. I didn't even know about the roof leaking, but there, you know, there are things that have come out. And, you know, I think everyone being under one roof, so to speak, really makes for efficiencies. So as we've grown and professionalized the fire department, I think this is a really good move, and it's a very comprehensive proposal. So hopefully we'll come out with some good directives after that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, great question. Any other questions? I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It makes sense. It sounds like it makes sense to consolidate, but just from a process perspective, I'm just wondering, like, was a decision made, because this is sort of the first many of us are hearing about this. Was there a decision made along the way by council to, or when was the decision made to consolidate everyone? Maybe I'm not remembering it.
No, I think this came from a number of places. It was mentioned in the facilities study. The fire chief has pointed out that in order to operate the fire department efficiently, we needed everybody under one roof. I think there's other factors happening where it makes sense to take all the fire department functions out of different buildings, the Chestnut Street Firehouse, for example, and put them into this building. So we internally had a committee from engineering and the fire department that put together an RFP and sent that out, and then I think that's pretty much the history of that. Yeah.
Okay. Was council aware of that RFP?
I thought council had been advised that we were doing that, but I don't want to. The fact that you're asking it makes me pause and saying, yes, they definitely were.
I think that's a pause worth taking. So anyway, all of those just notations aside, it does sound like it makes sense, however we got here.
Yep, so noted. I'm sorry, Leighton, there's...
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I just want us I just want to point to what we received this afternoon. We just talked about the extent of what we're really trying to do in the firehouse and everything that, you know, we want to accomplish. My question is, in the very front part of it, it says that this $58,000 is going to be spent for a look at the next 5 years. To me, that's short-sighted. I mean, why would we be doing anything at all when, you know, we buy trucks and stuff? The shelf life is for 20 years. Why are we taking only a 5-year look?
Yeah, we debated that internally with the fire chief. And the fire department, and I mean, Michelle as fire commissioner can jump in here too, but I mean, the fire department's in a time of flux. So our volunteer membership is fairly low, when we're hoping with the new fire chief that we are going to reverse that trend and expand the number of volunteers to what it, not what it used to be, but at least have it be significant again. So at this point, it's really hard to know what shape or form the fire department's going to be in more than 5 years from now. That would just be to be a guess. As far as people, but I think if, in my experience with these organizations, if we plan for having a combination department at least for another 5 years, whatever happens, even if the combination department can't exist, the needs of a fully paid department should still be able to be met by whatever we do. Yeah. We just felt that trying to plan out more than 5 years would be unrealistic, and we'd just be taking a wild ass guess, to be honest.
Okay, all right. Well, my feeling is if we're talking about smart growth, that maybe at a minimum we would look at the next 10 years, but that's just my opinion. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get you. I think, yeah. Hang
Can I-
on, we'll go
Can I
to
just
Eve
address
and
that
Michelle and then
real
I'll come
quick?
back.
And I just want to remind everyone, we were able to combine the fire inspectors. The fire inspectors are now certified as firefighters and vice versa. So that interchange has saved us from adding an additional 6. So, in order to really respond to fire calls with enough staff on the trucks, we have these extra people now. So we're trying to flex up and not add a lot more, because that can also erode the volunteer ranks as well. But what we're suffering in Princeton is across the nation. There's just a lack of people coming out to volunteer, both men and women. We really need to find another way of recruiting, or, hopefully things will change the other way. But right now, if things continue in the trend, but that's why I don't think we can look too far down the road, because we're not sure what's going to happen. And we also have facilities for women as well. So, hopefully we'll have both career and volunteer women coming into the firefighting ranks as well. That, would double our population for recruiting. So anyway, but it's a good point, Leighton. Thanks.
Thank you. Eve?
So I have 2 questions. One is about the output. What we're getting from this is a list of recommendations. We're not getting like architectural plans, are we? We are. We're getting, for $58,000, we're getting both a review of all this. No, okay.
We're getting a conceptual.
Well,
Conceptual,
Yeah, not
okay.
something that you're going to go out and bid something on.
Okay, so then the next step would be getting, right, okay. My other question is just a pitch for those of you who will still be here, to really think about resilience here. That has got to be, because if we're consolidating everything in one spot, we can't afford for this one spot to be flooded, to be cut off. So I did see a couple of references to like green building. I didn't see anything specific about climate resiliency, but it's possible I missed it because I was running out of time and I had to hurry. But I just want to make sure that that is absolutely in the forefront of everybody's mind, because we could have a great firehouse with all the most appropriate equipment, and if it can't get to where it needs to go, then, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Point taken. Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, next up is the consent agenda, 2 items, payment of bills and approving Affordable Housing Home Improvement Program loans. So if everybody's good with the 2 of those, Leticia's making them.
I actually have, I don't know what the second one is, so I'd like to pull it out and have an explanation.
Okay. All right, so why don't we, that's fine. So why don't we just, since they're numbered with the bills coming first, why don't we just do Resolution 24-344, resolution of the mayor and council authorizing the payment of bills and claims. Would somebody move that? Thank you, David. Letitia's got the second. Questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, next up then would be 24-346, resolution of the mayor and council of the municipality of Princeton authorizing and amending Princeton Affordable Housing Home Improvement Program loans. All right, so Letitia's got the motion, Leighton's got the second, and Mia has a question.
What are we amending? What is it? What are we authorizing? What are we authorizing and what are we amending?
There's
It was in the
there's
resolution.
There's two loan applications, one for 21 Birch for removal of an oil tank and installation of a new chimney liner. The other one is 431 Brick House Road for interior renovations and upgrades to kitchen and bathroom. And we're also doing work at 417.
Okay, the way it was written.
Can I jump in? I think it's specific to a couple of properties. It's not amending
the
the whole
way it's
program,
written,
but
it makes it
the
sound
way it's
like
reading,
it's
yeah,
like
We're
we're,
amending a policy or something.
yes,
Yes.
no,
sorry.
exactly.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't need to, that's
Thank you.
fine.
Got it.
Exactly.
Right, we're not doing
Thank you
any
for
major
translating,
policy shit.
Eve.
Yeah. No,
I
the old
hadn't
the
read
old
it like
consent agenda
that, but
trick.
when I heard your question, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay.
No, we, yeah, we pay a lot of attention to not burying something in consent agendas, unlike some other public bodies, so nobody knows what they're doing. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Anyway, that was moved and seconded. Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
David?
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Michelle. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're done. Very nice. 7:47. Gotta love it.